All right, welcome back everybody. This video is going to be on add-ons and extensions in Blender. So what is an add-on and what is an extension? Well, first of all, they're basically the same thing. They are extra features that you can add on to Blender that weren't there when you first downloaded the program. So I already have an add-on installed, which is this mouse that you see on the left, which is called Screencast Keys, which shows you, the viewer, what I just pressed. And that's what I'm using for the YouTube videos. This wasn't something that came with Blender. It actually was something that I added on or installed. Now, first of all, I want to show you that to actually access this stuff, I press N and I have this menu that's on the right, which you could also get by just opening this little ticky thing. This gives you a lot of menus, which I'll get into in other videos, but it also usually puts the add-ons in this part here. So at the bottom here, I have the Screencast Keys add-on that now I can control these different parameters. So the add-ons actually end up here, somewhere here. So I'll get rid of this and I'm going to add on two important ones today, auto mirror and loop tools. So to put these additional features on, we go to edit on the top left, click that, go to preferences. And there are two things that are relevant for us. One is actually called add-ons. These are a lot of these are extra features that are actually installed already in your hard drive. Most of the add-ons, it used to be always called add-ons. Every additional feature in Blender used to be called an add-on, but they moved most of them to another tab called extensions. And the extensions, you need to be online in order to access them. The extensions are all these features that are in the Blender website or the Blender server or something. And so in order to get them, you actually need to be online. The add-ons are actually in your hard drive already when you install Blender. So most of the stuff is extensions. So the ones that we're going to get are auto mirror. That's the first one. So I go to get extensions and I just write auto mirror. Usually the first word that comes up. And here we go, auto mirror. I click that, I install it, and then the install part disappears. That means it's there. Get rid of that, and I'm going to write loop tools. Oh, sorry, it's one word actually. Loop tools. That's it. Click that. Click install. Great, it's installed. So it was auto mirror and loop tools. Now these are automatically saved into Blender, so now the next time you open it up, they're there. And you want to be sure, go to the lower left corner, and it should say auto save preferences. It will say that it should be ticked off. So make sure it's ticked off. It normally is by default. Great, so these two things are in my computer. I'm going to show you what they are and how they work. So let's have our cube here. Very often in 3D modeling, you want to have a model which is symmetrical, meaning the same on both sides. It could be the same on the top and the bottom, like a hamburger. It could be, mostly it's usually the same on the two sides, like a car or like a plane or like a person or an animal or whatever. Many, 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 many things, if not most, are symmetrical along some axis. So the problem with just modeling, kind of freehand, is that it's really impossible to make things look perfectly the same on both sides. So if I were to go, if I move this vertex, great, oh, I'm going to move now this one the same, you'd be killing yourself. It'd be crazy to do that. You'd never get it to be perfect. So what you can do is up on the top here, you actually have symmetry along the X, Y, or Z. If I click that, and now I move this, hey, it's symmetrical. This is great, fantastic. What do I need auto mirror for? Life is fantastic. The problem is, if you just move any of these vertices slightly so that the two sides are different, like that, the computer now no longer understands that these two are supposed to be the same position. So if I now click X and I move this, the other side doesn't move anymore. I've lost my symmetry. I broke my symmetry. And trying to deal with that while you're modeling is a royal pain. So what you usually do is not that. You don't usually use these buttons until you're absolutely sure the model is symmetrical. Most of the time, it's much easier to just mirror the model. And to do that, it's really, really easy. I'll undo all this. Now that we've installed the auto mirror, we click this little tab, or I'll go back, we press N. And at the bottom now, I have this little thing that has appeared, which wasn't there before. So it says Edit. And now the auto mirror feature is actually on it. So if I just click this right now, auto mirror, I have this loop cut that has appeared. The reason this loop cut has appeared is because this side of the model has actually been automatically deleted and replaced with a virtual model, kind of a ghost mirror. To show you that it's actually not real, that it's a ghost side, if we go to the modifier tabs here, here's all these different tabs here. If I go to the modifier, the wrench, I now have this modifier that's called mirror modifier. If I unclick this, this TV screen shows me if it's on or not. So it's on because it's lit up. If I unclick it, you see, hey, that side of the model wasn't actually really there. It was just this side, and the other side was a virtual duplicate, a virtual mirror. Put it back on. Whoa, sorry. And you see that now whatever I do on this side, because that's the master side, it will have duplicated on the other side, and there's no worry about breaking symmetry because there is no other side. It's just virtual up until we decide to fix it. Great, so I can do whatever I want. I can make the model, blah, 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 great. Now let's say I've decided, okay, you know what, I love this. This is the best model. I want to actually apply this mirror, and I want to make both sides perfectly real, so I can maybe even make them asymmetrical now. Well, that's really easy to do. You get out of edit mode. I go to object mode by pressing tab, and I go to this modifier, and I just I press apply. Now both sides are totally real. It's a complete mesh, and I can, for example, move this thing this way. Oh, sorry, my mirroring is still on. My symmetry was still on. I can move this way, and now it's asymmetrical, and I can do whatever I want. Let's say that at some point I'm moving this around, and I say, you know what? I actually like this side now. I wish both sides were the same. Well, I can go back to my auto mirror and decide which side I want to keep. In this case, I want to keep this side. If you remember anything about math, the x-axis, this is the x-axis. This is the positive x-axis. So I actually want to change it to positive. This is the part that we keep. Okay, I want to keep this part and replace this with a mirror of that. Now I've done that, great. And there we go. So you can apply the mirror, auto mirror. You can then redo it whenever you want. It's very useful and very flexible. So auto mirror is great. We love it. Let me delete this model and just stick a new cube in there, and I'll show you a couple of features from the loop tools. All right, so we have a cube here. To show you something better, I'm going to actually subdivide this. I'm going to select A, press A, select the whole thing, right-click, subdivide, open this little menu up, and I'm going to subdivide it that many times. Great. Okay. So a couple things you can do with this loop tool add-on that you just put in before. Go to vertex mode. Let's say you're modeling and you've been moving things around and you're moving some vertices around. You're trying to get things kind of straight, but they're not very straight. And you have something like this kind of wonky looking edge loop where the vertices are sort of widely spaced and a little bit less widely, and you want it to actually be evenly spaced, because often it's necessary to have things as evenly spaced as possible so that things move properly. So what I can do is I'm going to select the entire edge loop here, or I can just select that part. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go back to vertex mode so you see what we're doing. If I now right click at the very top, Loop Tools, which I just installed as an extension, has appeared. And I have all these different options. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I'll go into this last one, which is called Space. If I press this, look what just happened. It put the vertices equally distant from each other. It spaced them evenly. And the influence by default is at 100%, meaning it's going to space them perfectly evenly to the best of Blender's ability. But I could kind of pull this down. I could go to 0, which is what it was before, or I could make it anywhere in between. Like, so maybe I don't want to make it 100% perfect and kind of leave it like that. So this is a really useful tool to kind of clean things up and make them a little bit more evenly spaced. All right, here's the last one I'm going to show you, which is still part of Loop Tools, is called Circle or Circularize. Let's say I have this cube and I want a circle coming out, sorry, a cylinder coming out of it. Well, I'll show you how you can do it. I can do it like this. It'll be very slick. If I select this middle box, I'm going to replace all of this with a circle. Select the middle box. I'm going to press Control plus to extend my selection. Control plus for the number pad. Do it again. Control plus, number pad. That's what I pressed. And I basically just selected 9 boxes. I could have just done it manually, but I did that. Now I'm going to delete them. Bye. Now I'm going to go to edge mode, and I'm going to Alt and click and select the entire edge loop around this these deleted faces. Well, you see now it just looks like a square, obviously. It doesn't look very circular. And I want to make this into a cylinder. If I right-click to the loop tools, the second function is called circle. It makes this into a circle. Isn't that cool? Yes, it is. Now I can extend it or extrude it, let's say like that. Now, because I only took 9 faces, it still actually ends up being a 12-sided cylinder. And if I go into object mode and go to auto smooth, you see it still doesn't really look very circular. But if I apply a subdivision surface modifier, it will look like a nice, beautiful cylinder. Before I do that, I'm going to have to crease all of these sharp edges so the whole thing doesn't turn into a blob. I'm going to do that by going to Select, Sharp Edges, and I don't really want these and these. I just want all the edges around, so I'm going to deselect the ones I don't want to be sharp. Click, click. All right, and I'm going to go up here to Item, and I'm going to crease all of those sharp edges. Maybe this one too. Now, if I go back into my modifier tab, I open it up and I write subdivision, and here it is, subdivision surface. I apply that. Look at that, kids. A beautiful cylinder coming out of a cube. And mostly it's because of this circle option from the loop tools. So that's just two versions or two functions of the loop tool and just 2 add-ons, and you see that they're very, very useful. There's a ton of other add-ons that are great, but I just wanted to show you those 2 because we're going to be using them in future videos. Okay, well, I hope that was useful. Thank you very much.